Hey guys, recently I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, tutorials, whatnot on basic survival stuff like how to start a fire in the wild and other hacks and tips like that. And I've noticed a common theme around them. They're either impractical, difficult, or they're just plain dangerous. And as someone who has, been roughing it in the woods for a year, I think my opinion on them are a little bit valid. So I'm gonna share a few with them, share my thoughts on them, and yeah, you get to decide on you for yourselves if they're good ideas or what. But you get to listen to what I say first. So from the tent, let's do this thing. So with this, you're gonna watch my bearded brother here take some soap and grate it with a cheese grater to just stuff it into a bottle and add some gasoline, because that's some gasoline he's got in that other bottle, to let it's going to sit, emulsify, and he's going to use that as a fire starter, and it's going to work, and it's going to work unbelievably well. That's gasoline. Gasoline is a great accelerant. Unfortunately, it's a very bad idea, and it's not safe at all. There's a reason we store gasoline when it's outside of the fuel tanks in jerry cans. They have blow off valves. Uh, Gasoline evaporates very easy and it builds pressure, and you got a chance of it exploding. That's exactly what could happen here. Even though it's mixed in with the soap, pressure is going to build in that container and it could explode. It's not going to cause, physical harm, but it could potentially ruin a lot of your gear. You're going to have to put that bottle somewhere, so pressure could build, pop's going to top off, and all that slurry mixture is going to mix into your gear. If you've got food in your bag, it's going to be no good because the gas vapors get into everything. I guess who doesn't want to smell like gasoline? All your clothes smell like gasoline and your food tastes like gasoline. So it will work. It will work well. It's just not the best idea. For me, this one is absolutely ludicrous. Your lighter's broken, and you still got to start a fire. So what do you have? Your lighter and an apple. Yes, let's do that. Scrape the wax off the apple, grind some of the flint down, and dump it into the wax and use it to start a fire. It's so ludicrous, man. Absolutely ludicrous. All this is dependent on you having an apple. And an unwashed apple at that, because once you wash an apple over the sink, all that wax is gone. You're not getting anything off of it. And with, the guys in the woods, 2 steps he could have found a dozen things that were better suited to make a fire. Like, heck, he had birch bark there. 30 seconds he could have ripped it down to fibers and used that, and it would have done the same thing better. Or heck, if you can't even find that, you've got that lighter in your hand. You could have done the same thing you did with the apple, slightly scrape it for the plastic shavings, a little bit of flint, and poof, it would have started. But, you know, I think it's just lunacy. It's clickbait farming. It's just madness that Apple start a fire. Man, you could have walked over there, got a dry stick, and made some shavings of that, and it would have worked just as well. In fact, it would have worked better. This here, it's in the realm of fantasy. It's complete BS. No one's doing this. No one has ever thought of doing this. No one will ever do this to start a fire. Ever. Besides a guy on the internet trying to get clicks. I shouldn't have to say anything about this one. I really shouldn't, but just eat the chips. Look all around you. I can see the dry grass right there. That's going to work better than the chips. Save the chips. In a survival situation, you need the calories, but really, dude, just really, you know what? Put your thumb down. Don't do that. Now I know I'm focusing really hard on this Sergio Outdoors guy. That's his channel. It's just this stuff is making me facepalm so hard. Like this video here. He's making charcoal out of rope. Why? There are a million other things you could have done with that cordage. When you're in any sort of survival situation, cordage is like gold. You're lucky if you can make it. There are cases you can, but when you've got good cordage like that, you're not going to make it into charcoal. That could have been used a million different ways. If you hurt yourself, it could be used to tie a splint, help you tie up a shelter, heck, even help secure your wood basket so you can keep your fire going, not turned into charcoal so you can start a fire. Going even further, that grass pile he threw it in, it was ready to go as it was. It would have took one spark from his striker to get that going, no problem. So that charcoal itself was completely unnecessary and a waste of cordage. And I find his stuff, yes, it will work, but nobody's doing it. It's so ridiculous. Don't listen to this guy. There's so much ridiculous, but you know what? At least the last video comes from a person who's really good at this stuff and who's very knowledgeable. And we're gonna end it on a better note than this. Woodsbound Outdoors, one of my favorite YouTubers. He's got a lot of great stuff. He knows what he's talking about. With this video in particular, I do have a small problem. I'm not a big fan of the Dakota Fire hole, just because time and effort. Now, I don't know exactly where he is, but from the trees, he looks like he's in an area like mine, Ontario, maybe even New York. So I don't know. I'll Google it. I Googled it. He's from New York, but he's from an area similar to mine, it looks like, because he's got the black walnut trees in the back. It's difficult to actually make a Dakota Fire hole in my topography. The soil is very compacted and rocky, so unless you've got a shovel, it ain't gonna be easy. And looking from this, it looks like he may even brought that dirt in and piled it up so he could make this rocket stove, the Dakota Fire hole. That being said, I wish you would give some warnings about it. You shouldn't do this when it's been a very dry year, when there hasn't been a lot of rain and the soil is very dry. If you put it in the wrong place, you could catch a tree root on fire, and fire will travel underground through the tree roots, and you accidentally started a forest fire there. And as I said, time and effort. It's a lot of time to dig the 2 holes if you don't have a shovel with you. Time that you could be spending collecting wood, and it does have the benefit of blocking the wind, but you can accomplish the same thing with piling some rocks from in the direction from the wind is coming, or if you don't have rocks, you could put some logs there and make something like that. It's time and effort. It works great. It also has its drawbacks. But again, I love his stuff. He's got a great library of tips and things that will help you survive in a situation. He knows his stuff. Again, I just have a small problem with the Dakota Fire hole. As always, thanks for watching my video. If you're not subscribed, give me a thumbs up, or if you are subscribed, still give me a thumbs up, and if you aren't subscribe, that'd be freaking awesome. I'm trying to make more videos like this in the future. Again, it's just me and a cell phone and my very sometimes shaky hand that does this stuff, so I'm working on improving my editing skills and, just getting generally better at making longer videos. So I'm hoping to put a few more of these out in the near future. Again, thanks for watching, and I appreciate every one of you. Have a great day.